everybody. My name is Kyle Smirsky. For this speech, I'm really going to be working on using less and guys. Okay? Alright, so by raising hands, how many of you guys like the game of baseball? Alright, good. How many guys think it's kind of boring? Alright. Well, the fact of the matter is, a lot of people who don't really understand the history, know the game, think it's boring. I myself am very enthusiastic about it. It's something I've been playing a lot my whole entire life. I research all the time about it. And once you get down to it, it's really not boring. The purpose of the speech is to inform you guys about the game of baseball. When I'm done, you'll have a better understanding of why it's America's favorite sport. I'll use main points like how the game was founded, a brief history of professional baseball, and lastly, how the game of baseball is viewed today. Now that you understand what I'm going to talk about, let's move on to the first main point. Like I said, we're going to talk about how the game was founded. In 1845, a New York man in the New York Knickerbockers Club named Alexander Cartwright founded and wrote down on paper the game of baseball. He explained that you have a ball no bigger than the size of your fist, and you throw it at another guy holding a stick of wood called a bat. The guy with the wood tries to hits the ball as far as he can, and then runs around a diamond-shaped field called a baseball field. If he gets to the fourth base safely without getting out, it's a run. The team with the most runs wins the ball game. Now, according to Gino Jezik of thebaseballwarehouse.com, he explained that the game of baseball closely mimicked the game of rounders. This game right here is the game of rounders. Now, as you can see, it's pretty similar. The only difference is instead of throwing it to a teammate to get the person out, you actually throw it at the person. So as you can imagine, it's pretty painful. These guys throwing it 75 miles an hour at somebody getting hit, it's going to hurt. In my honest analysis, I asked you guys if you understood baseball and the rules of baseball. Some of you said yes, some of you said no, so that's why I kind of wanted to put into your minds the actual game and how it's played. Now that you understand a little bit about how the game was founded, let's move on to my second main point of brief history of professional baseball. My second main point, like I said, is a brief history. In 1869, this man, Alexander Cartwright, formed the first professional team called the Cincinnati Red Stockings. This behind me is the Cincinnati Red Stockings. As you see, is 9 of his closest friends. They were the best athletes at the time. In 1870, the game expanded because it was brought to Japan by missionaries. This really helped the game get aware to everybody outside the United States, and it made it that much better for people playing it. Now, baseball was predominantly a white person sport until 1919 when a black man named Jackie Robinson made the major leagues. He broke the race barrier. This allowed other black people to get up there, have the same dreams that these white people do, and play the sport they love. In 1920, the game got a lot safer when they instituted the helmet. This right here is the helmet. Now, as you can see, it doesn't look like much, but it was better than going up there with nothing on your head. Before this happened, some guy went up there with nothing on his head, got hit in the head, and died. According to Baseball Incline, the 1960s acted as a turning point for the game. Before this, they were getting paid money, but not a lot, so the players went on strike. They wanted more money. Now, according to Baseball Incline, they said if they didn't go on strike and didn't demand the money, the game of baseball could have been banned for today. In my honest analysis, I asked you guys if you understood the history or knew if it had a long history. Most of you said yes, but I just wanted to point out the main points and the main dates of the game of baseball. Alright, now that you know some of the history, let's move on to the last point of how the game of baseball is viewed today. So, professional baseball today, there are 30 major league teams all across the United States, which is top tier, cream of the crop, the best players to play the game of baseball. The thing that's different now than before is now there's minor league teams, which is a filter system for the players who need help, who don't have the right tools, who just aren't the best of their team, or best of their ability yet, but are working on it. There are over 300 of those. Each organization has about, I think, 8 or 10 teams. Predominantly when you hear about professional sports, baseball, you always hear about the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. I myself am a Boston Red Sox fan. I'm diehard about it. But they're the best teams in the game, most historic, past, always there when it comes to World Series, championships, everything. Like I said in my introduction, baseball is America's favorite sport. This is because it's a community event. You can go there and not know the game at all, and go in there with your family and have a great time, watch a ball game, share a couple thoughts, and just sit back and relax and have a very fun evening. Alright, the last thing I want you guys to know is, according to Jason Alm of Journal of Sports Economics, these players get paid to play. And in my honest analysis, I asked you guys if you were aware of that. Most of you said yes, but didn't really know how much. Well, when the game started, the most anyone ever got paid was $1,000. Now the league minimum is $300,000. So you could be the worst player in the major league, but you're at least making $300,000. So as you can see, the times have turned, and the demand for these players have gone up as well as the pay. This right here is the statistics of how the game has risen in price. As you can see on top is the $300,000, and the bottom is what it started at. So in my speech, I've told you about the game of baseball, how it was founded, a brief history, and lastly, how the game is viewed today. Thank you for your time.